Welcome to the M Factor Live, a place where art of movement meets wisdom of the heart. My name is Emme, and I am delighted that you are here with me. You found me, and you're joining me today for another live episode of yoga teachings in a time where I think we all need it more than anything else. So today's class, I have prepared a little bit, is going to be centered around calming our body and finding a little bit restoration through continuous movements. So when we normally think about a flow, we think about something that we did maybe yesterday, the vinyasa flow in standing postures. We did sun salutations yesterday, and it was a little bit more vigorous, and we were standing. You can also practice a floor on the ground. A flow is symbolized by our continued attention to movement and breath. And this is it's not as easy as it sounds like, because most of us are practicing yoga a little bit on autopilot. And what that means is that if you have practiced for a little while, you're kind of like your body knows what is coming, your body expects certain things, and we have to continuously make an effort to stay present, because otherwise you go into autopilot. And autopilot is the place where we are at in this moment in time with all of us, with our limited physical limitations that we have, with our mindset and certain belief system that is just there, and our emotions that respond in a certain way just because we always respond that way. Our yoga practice is designed to actually expand that, to maybe create a space where you can do something that is not on autopilot, not in your movements, not the way how you think about stuff, not the way how we feel and respond on the inside to what is going on without us. This is the essence of when your yoga practice becomes aware. And for me, that is the next level yoga. So today I want to invite you to focus and to let go of all the things that you think should happen right now in this moment, and see if you can, in this time when we will center in a moment, see if you can get into a place where you're open to receive, open to receive the teachings that come through this medium today, open to receive feedback from your own self, so that you can start to listen and notice and observe a little bit better. Yeah, this is something that we need to train ourselves, because it doesn't come naturally. We're so trained to judge and immediately put things in little boxes that have labels on them. And this is the box of good, and this is bad, and this is right, and this is wrong, and this feels good, and this doesn't feel good. But today, I want to invite you to put these boxes to the side and really seriously ask yourself, can I let go of my perceptions, of my filter, of the biases, how I see the world? If you are able in your personal practice to get to a place where you're really present, what will happen is you will learn so much about yourself, and you will be able to transcend, to go beyond, to transform the limitations that all of us have in our life. You're able to transform beyond that. And that's what I would like to teach you. These classes are intended for you to take something with you. So my intention is not just here and do some yoga here and you just follow me the best way you know how. My intention is that every class you come back, You can take something out of that class and put it in your practice, and this will enhance, it will enlighten, it will create more understanding and wisdom in your personal practice. It's almost like a seed that I would like to sow within you, so that when you practice these things without me, alone, in other classes, I want this to be something that can grow. Yeah? A yoga practice is a beautiful process of growth. That's really what we're doing here. And it has to start at the place where we are taught. We're not just doing yoga by ourselves the best way we know how. If you could open your heart to the fact that some of these things are actually able to be taught, and you can train yourself. You can take these things with you and build upon them. And that's my intention. I hope you took something out of yesterday's sun salutation class. And I would be curious to hear what it is. So write me and connect. I would like to be here for you, for your questions and the things that hopefully, once you practice with that awareness, will come up as something that is not clear. You see it, and then you ask, and an answer is given. And from there, we can keep growing. Yeah? All right. We start on our mat today in a seated position. We will need 2 blocks and our pillows again, or a yoga bolster if you have one. I thought we have been doing this the last few times to open up at the end of the class, and it felt always heavenly, so we're going to do this again today. All right, so again, you do not have to come in cross-legged position. It can be hero's pose, yeah, sitting on a block between the heels, or it can also be sitting on a chair. I'm a big fan of not sitting in discomfort. So don't squeeze yourself into cross-legged position if it's right now the place where you can actually calm your body, your mind, and start to focus. This is really important, yeah? And I trust that you make the right choice for yourself. All right, so I'm going to be in cross-legged today with my blanket below my seat. Close your eyes. Relax your hands on your thighs. And today I would like us to open up the palms. The elbows are hanging to the side of our waist. Our sternum is high. And we're finding a balanced angle on our hip. How do you find that balanced angle? By exploring, where is my neutral position? This neutral position is going to be different for each one of us. Yeah? Most of us will sit a little bit to the back, and over time, the more we practice, we will be able to tilt our pelvis. I talked about that in yesterday's class a little bit. I explained the pelvic angle. We're having this actually in a seated position as well. Yeah. Notice your rib cage being tall and wide. When we sit, we always want to have space. Space to breathe, space to erect the spine around everything is centered, space for the rib cage to be able to move, and no tension in our head and neck and shoulders. This is why it's so important to learn and adjust your seat. Yeah, a seat is one of my favorite topics. All right, allow your hands to be to the side of wherever, however long your arms are. Rest your hands, let your fingers be relaxed. Before you close your eyes, take a moment. See if your hands can be completely relaxed. Good. Draw the chin slightly in, erect the back of the crown of the head, and see if you can be in this position while you breathe, while you center in. And that's exactly the purpose of this beginning of our class. So close your eyes and take a deep breath in. I like to always exhale through my lips just a couple of times. The sound of my breath gives me a bigger feedback of reminding myself, what am I doing in this moment in time? I am breathing. I am becoming calm, and I am letting go of the energetic entanglement that we have with the outside world. And for most of us, that is not easy. We are deeply entangled into what is going on in our life, into what is going on externally. It has an effect on us. And if we learn to become quiet and sit down and shift our focus inwardly, we change the scenery. And the only way to train yourself is to do it. I know for most of you this might be triggering. And I have watched a lot of people struggle with sitting still. But the more you struggle with it, the more it is a sign that this is what we need to practice. So we're changing the scenery of our attention. And we're inviting the focus inward. And I want to ask you here and now, what does that mean for you? How do you invite your focus inward? Can you sit still, calm and quietly, even without input from my voice? Look how different it is if I talk or if you're just sitting there quietly. There's a huge difference, yeah? Even my voice is input right now, which is okay because I'm guiding you through this class. But the real practice is, can I be still with myself, even for 5 minutes? And if not, then that's the practice. That's what we draw towards, because the goodness, that what we need, the balance, the peace, is exactly beyond that limitation, beyond that triggers us. And this is a very important part of our yoga practice. When you notice that your focus moves away, start to observe your thoughts. See what's going on. Listen to the self-talk that is going on within you. This is called awareness. The reason why in meditation we often instruct to focus on our breath is because we give our mind a job. If your mind has a job to do, something that it can hold on to, it will be calmer. And so if you observe the busyness of your mind, if you can see your thoughts, if you can hear your self-talk, if you have an awareness for that, the exercise is to allow the breath to focus, to be the attention of your focus so that the mind can stay with it. That's what we do when we meditate. So I will be quiet for 10 breaths. And I would love for us to count those breaths down from 10 to 0. And when you are finished, when you are arriving at 0, bring the palms to your heart, open your eyes, and just sit there. And until we're all at that place, yeah? Let's do this 10 breaths, counting down, staying focused on our breath. Inhale. Exhale is 10. Inhale. Exhale is 9. And keep going. And I hope you are at 10. Open your eyes. So this is a great exercise. And you can expand this to 20, 30, 60, 100. And see how far you can count down. And see how long you can keep your attention without our mind running away. Yeah? If you do this with a little bit of seriousness, you will see how hard it is to actually count down past 10. Try this out and let me know how it goes. All right, so let's extend our legs for just one moment. Stretch out our feet, roll and rotate our feet a little bit. Good. Rotate our shoulders. Good. All right. So let's come onto all fours. And I would like to take 1 minute to address one thing that I think a lot of yogis are battling with, and that is our wrists. So if you are not used to putting body weight on your wrists, just even being for a few minutes on all fours will create a lot of tension. Not only in the wrist, in the forearm, this goes up to your shoulders, and there's a lot of discomfort. Some of you have arthritis or other conditions in the wrist that actually don't let you go easily into these positions. Ideally, when your wrist is healthy, we are able to teach ourselves to go into a 90-degree angle. There are many exercises, stretches, as well as strengthening exercises that help our wrists whenever we are on our hands. Yeah? The more you put body weight on the arms, the more you need to strengthen the forearms, shoulders, hands, and wrists. So it's not just the wrist itself, but a very quick thing that everybody can do to most often release tension in the wrists is to take a blanket or a rolled mat and place our hands with the ball of the hand. So this up here is the ball of the hand. Place the hand with the ball of the hand onto the blanket and let the hands, the fingers, lean forward. And so this angle, this 90-degree angle, is actually widened out a little bit. And that, for most of us, creates immediate release. This is a really important thing, and a lot of people just don't do it, and I don't understand why, because this and whatever you do from there is so much better for your wrists until you condition your hands into a way where you can be on your 90-degree angle. So either a blanket, or you can roll up your mat. If you don't have a blanket, roll up your mat. Try this out at the end of your mat, and as high as you like. You can go higher or you can go lower, yeah? And place the ball of the hand onto the rolled mat, and let the fingers come down. So you can actually feel a lot more support here, even into downward facing dog and other positions, yeah? Plank. This is a so much better plank than when your wrists are in pain and agony, yeah? So for every one of you, this is a fairly good alternative, yeah? I know some people go on their fingers. Personally, this might make your wrists feel very stable, but here's one thing that I always mention. Our fingers, the fingers and the knuckles and the joints in the fingers are not designed to keep body weight on it, yeah? So if you do this extended period of times, you can actually create a different problem in different parts of your hands. However, for some of you that works, yeah? And then that's absolutely fine, and you might be just used to it, and that's okay. But find an alternative that works for you, yeah? And if you need help with that, ask somebody like me and make this personal, because your yoga practice will enhance so much if you get just tiny little changes and modifications that make things bearable for a while until you get stronger, and then we change them again, and then we modify, and then we adapt. And that's really the journey of yoga, that we constantly get better, yeah? Our yoga practice is not designed to keep us where we are. It is designed for us to keep progressing forward, yeah? So use your blanket, use your roll if that helps. It's very important. Okay, let's stretch back into child's pose and extend the tailbone and the sit bones all the way down towards your heels, and just move a bit from side to side. We let our bottom and our hip roll over to the outside of the right heel and the left heel. Also, some of us will not be able to extend our ankles, and we'll have to curl under because our feet start cramping. The only way to practice that is to keep extending the legs more and more and more, and practice these things away from your regular class, yeah? So I want to teach you that it's so worth it to pay attention to your personal body and what you need, yeah? Good. And from here, we move forward with our arms, stretch forward a good 2-3 hand lengths forward, and let the chest hang down. This is called puppy dog, and it really is down dog. It's the down dog position, just with our forehead on the ground, with our knees on the ground, but we're stretching in exactly that position. And then take the left arm and cross it over to the right side of your mat, and then sink again into your left armpit and hang down a little bit. Feel that stretch. I'm going to show you from the front here. So I'm moving my left arm over to the right, and I'm hanging into my left rib cage. This creates a beautiful stretch. The other arm, the right arm, can be on the ground. You can actually allow the right arm to come on the ground and stretch. Now, slowly move to the other side. Remember, today's practice is a practice of focused, flowing movements where the breath enhances the movements. And again, other side, slowly switch. Maybe stretch the left fingers even more forward. And exhale, let your head sink down. This is a side body stretch. And most of us will feel this right up in the armpit, and then this part of our back, which is called the latissimus, and a little bit in the side body as well. If you press out the hips, you can feel the stretch in the hips as well. See if you can make this as wide and long and as as extended as possible. And now inhale, and with my exhale, I move a little bit further. Beautiful. Slowly back to center. Come up onto all fours. I'm going to use my blanket today just so that you can see it. I'm doing it with you. All right. From here, come into a neutral position. Neutral means that I am not hanging in my shoulders. I'm pressing up. Neutral means that my bones are stacked on top of each other, which means that my knees are not too far out or too close in. I have a 90-degree angle, and then my spine has a natural curve, which means there is a slight curve in my lumbar spine. There is extension in my upper body, and my head is not hanging down. My head is in one long line with my spine. Good. So this is neutral. And most of us, we really don't know exactly what neutral is. So if you ever have a mirror, or if you can make a picture of your neutral position, that would be a good start, because then you can know, aha, here's my neutral, and this is how neutral feels. Yeah? Okay, so from here, let's slowly go into cat and cow. We inhale, lift our gaze, lift the tailbone up, and focus on extending the chest forward, upward. So this position, stay here for a moment, is a focus on the upper back and the rib cage and chest. This is called the thoracic spine. So in cow, I want my thoracic spine to mobilize a little bit. In cat, I am focusing on my lower back. I want you to really see if you can stick out and bring higher the lower part of your back. This is not about the upper part. The upper part naturally already rounds. I want you to see if the focus can be on pulling the navel in as tight as you can, drawing the rib cage and the hip bones together. This is full engagement of your core, and the tailbone to tuck under. Yes. And then we move between these two positions. Cow in our thoracic spine and cat in our lumbar spine. It is actually the opposite of what you'd think it would be, yeah? You would think this is about the upper back and rounding as high as you can, and this is about the lower back and just arching as much as you can. Think the opposite, yeah? So from now on, cat and cow is the opposite of where we think we have movement, because we want the other part to move as well. Oh. Now notice if you can do this movement slowly, and each time go a tiny little bit more extension, and really pay attention to moving. If you want to do it a little bit more advanced, I want to invite you to move one vertebra at a time, super slowly, all the way up to the head. And then tailbone, middle back, upper back, head and shoulders. Again, let's do this one more time. Inhale. This should feel like a lot of movement, yeah? A lot of parts in our spine are moving, and that's exactly what we want. And then slowly from here, come into child's pose. Good. Rest your head, your arms, and your back for just one moment. And then slowly lift up. And we're going one more time into all fours. Let's come into a twist. We open the right arm out to the side in a 90-degree angle, and see if we can turn and rotate our whole chest and rib cage up to the sky as far as our body allows us, and then thread that arm under and twist into the opposite direction. So let me show you one more time this way. Inhale. Lift up our chest, not the arm. So this is not the arm going back. This is my rib cage turning. And then I'm hugging that arm under, and I'm going as far as I can. Try to bring that right shoulder onto the ground and turn your head and turn your whole entire torso to the left side. And again, inhale and exhale. When we twist our spine, we create a lot of freedom in movement. And you will notice where your limitations are right now. Where's the limit? Where's the edge? And at that edge, see if we can just maybe go a tiny bit further. And exhale, beautiful. Slowly switch to the other side. Wonderful. Again, take one moment and find your neutral position. I'm going to show you sideways one more time. Left arm, 90-degree angle, and I am twisting and slowly thread under. Exhale. See how far you can go, how far your body allows you to go. And there we stay. This is our edge, and our practice is, how can I play around at that edge? Can I? Maybe yes, maybe no. The requirement is to turn your autopilot off and try and see, how can I go further? What muscles do I need to engage to create more expansion? Let's do it one more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale. Twist, twist all the way. Twist the shoulder around. Stack the right shoulder on top of the left shoulder. Yes, and slowly back to center. Come off your wrists. Let your head, shoulders, and neck release for one moment. Wonderful. Yeah? Slowly roll up. This is a nice position. And the important part is, whenever you twist, don't twist with the arm. Yeah, I hope this is clear. Let me see if I got a stick here. I'm not 100% if I have it. Oh yes, there it is. Okay, let me see if I can show you. So this is my stick. And some things I can really demonstrate with it. So our twist, and this is for any twist in yoga, we want to twist with our torso. So if you have a stick or so at home, yeah, this would be actually good. You can take a broomstick or something. So what we want is, we want our torso to twist. So it's not the arm. Let me show you, how can I demonstrate that? This is my arm twisting, yeah? This is my arm going back. This is not my torso twisting, and that's what I want in a twist. Yeah, try this out at home, maybe after practice. Left and right, put the stick right on top of you, have the arm in the back, and then twist. Yes, left and right. Wonderful awareness exercise of how we are doing certain things. Yeah. Okay, this is my stick. All right, so from here, let's come onto the belly, please. We're laying onto the belly. And I would like to address our chest one more time. I've done this in one of the other classes, and I would like to review it one more time today. So slowly come onto your belly. For just one moment, extend your legs, relax your head, relax your shoulders, and turn your head to the right side as far as you can, and notice where exactly the head is turning and which part of your head is on the ground. Is it your cheek? Is it your ear? How far can you turn without moving the head to the right side? Good. So this is a nice stretch for the neck. Have your hips relaxed and your rest of the back, and lift back up slowly. Inhale, we turn our head to the other side. Notice if there's a difference between left and right. Most of us will have a little bit of a difference. That's fairly common and normal. It is not what we necessarily want, but most of our lives we have certain directions or left or right side that we favor, and this is the result of it. It's good to know that. Yeah, you might be a belly sleeper and you sleep always with the head on one side, and that's the reason why that side is a little bit more open and has more mobility. Okay, from here, I would like us to take the right elbow and place it out to the side of your mat. So in a 90-degree angle, which is kind of like the letter U. And then you shift your right chest a little bit towards the edge of the mat. And then we roll over with our left hip and left leg over to the right side. Very, very lightly. Don't go far yet. Yeah? You will feel just by shifting the weight that you get a stretch in the front of the chest. So the stretch is here all the way in the front of our chest and even in the front of our shoulder. Yeah, that's what we're doing. This is called dragon pose. And then we slowly release back to center. It is not about how far the leg lifts up. This is about how far can we stretch into our chest. So this right leg that is now lifted on the other side is hanging lightly. Do not lift it up high. Don't force it into the ground beneath you. Just feel the stretch in the chest, because if we press this right hand slightly into the ground and stack the right shoulder on top of the left one, what will happen is we will have a beautiful increase in stretch. And again, other side. I love this stretch. Yeah, this is a wonderful preparation for a lot of other yoga asanas. You will see that the second time around, your body already knows a little better where it's going. And if you watch me, you can see how I'm slightly moving. I'm letting my inhale back my hips off a bit, and my exhale goes a little bit deeper into the stretch. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Back to center. And left arm. Again, scooch your left chest to the edge of your mat. And then very slowly start. This should really feel good in your whole shoulder girdle. And it's the antithesis to all the hunching and crunching that we do. We need more of that because our daily lives are all geared towards seated position that is really, really not healthy for us. And slowly back. Wonderful. Deep breath. Now, our next movement for the hips. I would like for us to take a blanket and actually cross it over our mat. And then we open up the knees out to the side, all the way as far as we can. Come onto the belly and try to bring the soles of the feet together. So wherever this is right now for you, that's absolutely fine. So the soles of the feet together, the knees as wide apart, and you will feel this little bit of a triangle right up here in your hip and groin area, which is okay. Yeah, this is what we want. We want to have a little bit of a stretch there, and I want you to release and relax as good as you can with the soles of the feet together. Some of us will feel this as a big rotation in the hip. Very nice. And then very slowly, we try to bring the right toe towards the left side to the ground and come back to center. And then the left toe onto the ground and lift back up. So right toe lowers down and left toe lowers down. And what you should feel and what we're working on is a rotation in the hip. The sacrum will shift a little bit, and that's absolutely fine. As long as you do this slowly, don't go too deep, and try to keep the feet as low as possible. Yeah? This will improve a lot of asanas and is a wonderful way to stretch into our hips. Do this slowly, real slowly. One toe, back to center, and the other toe. Now, one thing that a lot of people in the beginning, when you do this the first time, do wrong is you extend the other leg. So when my right toe comes to the ground, I don't want my left leg to extend. Keep it there as close as you can. So from the center, down towards the ground, back to center, down towards the ground. So we don't move the legs out back, yeah? If they stretch out to the back, you know you're missing a little bit the exercise. So it's not stretching back. It is just down and back to center and down and back to center, yeah? Do you feel this? Can you feel this in your hip joint itself? Right in the hip, yeah? I think everybody should be able to feel this. Okay, deep breath. Keep your forehead neutral, which means I don't want you to turn your head into one side. And then slowly from here, bring the soles together. Come onto your hands or maybe elbows. Lift yourself up. Bring the toes onto the ground and slowly see if you can push yourself up into this really wide-legged seated position. So the legs are really wide open, and see if you can sit here for a moment. Deep stretch in the inner thighs. There's a slight internal rotation. See if the neck and the spine can lift upright. Some of you will feel this in your ankles, yeah? Just try this out. Do it in a way where it's possible. You might have to hold yourself here with your hands, and that's absolutely fine. If you can, lower the bottom onto the heels. Good. Let's take 2 more breaths. Inhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Very good. And then come onto your hands and slowly bring the legs together, one after the other. Very good. Take your blanket away, actually. Take it away. And we're going to do one more exercise for the feet. So we are on all fours again. Remember your wrist positioning that you learned today. And we're stretching out the right leg with the toes basically looking down. And what I want you to do is see if you can rotate the entire ankle super slowly. So we are rotating the ankle in a circular motion over all 5 toes, back, in, forward, out, back, center, left, in, and out. Wonderful, yeah? This is a really good exercise to keep your feet movable. Please do this slowly. Don't do it fast. Some of you will feel a little bit of discomfort in your toes. Do it slowly, very slowly, and see if you can rotate your whole entire ankle. Good. And other side, yeah? This is a really wonderful exercise to keep the feet healthy. We forget about this very often, yeah? The feet are super, super important. Okay, from here, let me maybe show you this way so you can see it. So, left leg, toes are under. I am rolling out to the left. I'm rolling over my small toe, back to center. I'm crossing over and rolling to the left. So it's not my hip that is doing this. It's really my ankle. See, my ankle has the ability to cross over here. And then I'm slowly rolling over my big toe and back out. Yeah.
Do this super slowly but pay attention. Notice where there is limitations. Are your toes movable? Are they not? That's okay. At least you know where is the stretch here in your calf muscle, ankle. Yes, at least you get to know your body. Some of us, we want to do balancing poses and all kinds of things, but we really don't take care of our feet, and that is really sad. One more circle. You see, I'm doing this super slowly. Super slowly. Cross over back to the inside. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And back to center. Yeah? I hope this is something that you can do while you watch TV or while you sit. Yeah? I'm trying to come up with things that can benefit you beyond this hour that we have spent together. All right, very good. From here, our last twist. I would like to do a seated twist today. Again, take your blanket below your sit bones. And we're starting with both legs extended in front of us. This position is called Dandasana, staff pose. If you can, flex the feet. See if you can sit upright in a 90-degree angle. And we're starting with the right leg. Right foot crosses over the left knee. So just take the foot, cross it over the left knee. Now, some people ask, how far shall I pull this leg? Well, it will look different on each one of us because each one of us has a different length of leg, a different length of femur bone, maybe a little more chest or belly or less or more. It will look different on each one of us. So I want you to see that your thigh, the right thigh, is actually a little bit touching the belly so that it's not squeezing too hard, but it is touching the belly. And notice if you can sit upright. So if you have to use your other arms to help to sit upright, please do so. That's totally fine. Yeah? And then take your left hand and see exactly where you can hug. It might be a little lower, it might be higher. The more mobile you get, the more you'll be able to cross over. I don't want you to do that yet. I want you to think, I'm sitting upright before I'm doing this and then I'm crossing over. Yeah, that's not where we're going. We're going into length first. And for some of you, this right arm is vitally important to be able to sit upright. So use your left arm and cross this leg over slightly without losing touch on the ground. And in this elongated, lengthened position, we're starting to twist. Now, very slowly, we're going a tiny bit deeper. Remember what that means, deeper. Deeper might mean that I am lengthening myself, expanding more and twisting with a little bit more awareness of not going into an unfavorable position and kind of like going further, but not in the way how we want this exercise to be done. Remember, each exercise has a specific essence. It wants to teach us something about ourselves. And our job is not to just make it work somehow. Our job is, in yoga, to find a way where we can invite these parts that don't want to move, that are not strong enough, to make them stronger. Yeah? To be able to sit. And you see, the longer we are in there, the more we're moving. It's almost like you're screwing a wood screw into wood. Slowly and gradually it goes a little bit deeper. That's how it should feel. And it should not be hurtful. Your body is prepared for that. Very good. And see how far we are now? Wonderful. Notice if your spine is long still. Yeah, use your hand, but see if we could do it without it, because later we will hug that arm around our backs. Yes. And slowly release back to center. On the outside,
These asanas look like nothing much. I know if some of you see me, you think, oh, this is easy, I can do this too. Well, I want to challenge you to think again and see if you really are able to only move from your rib cage, to sit upright and have the power and the strength in your back, to turn and twist from your core and not from your arm. Can I be in the same openness here, with arm or without arm? Yeah, this is true holistic practice. It's a little bit different from just pulling ourselves into some sort of position. Yeah, okay. Slowly turn over to the other side. And extend your legs. And other side. Good. I'm going to turn over so you can see me on that side. One more time. Dandasana. Left foot crosses over the right leg. Okay, I am focusing on tilting my hip. I'm focusing on plugging both of my sit bones into the ground. I am focusing on erecting my spine as good as I can. We are where we are today, yeah? So all you can do is just give all you got into this position. Sit up as much as we can. Good. The right arm hugs around the knee. Some of you will hug higher. Some of us will hug lower. We're hugging around the knee. Feel your belly. And here's another trick that I often like to tell my students. Take your left hand and actually squeeze out your belly a little bit to the left. We can do this, yeah? Take your belly and squeeze it out to the side of it. Yes. Yeah, you create a bit more space with that. Okay, and now left arm goes back. See if I can sit up a tiny bit higher. Again, my goal is to be able to do this without holding, but right now I might have to. And then breath by breath, I'm starting to twist my rib cage. And I am using my core muscles for that and a little bit of my arm. So I don't want you to just take the arm and push and pull. Your body will not remember any of that, but we will get stronger in our core and in our ability to move. Do you remember the stick exercise? This is a lovely position for the stick exercise again. Here we go. Yeah, this is where I am twisting. That's a twist. And you will see this is a whole lot harder than just pulling with the arms. But guess what we're doing? We are teaching our muscles to show up for us, to get stronger, to bring us into this position so that I can move with ease. Good. Inhale and exhale. One more breath. Inhale and exhale. And you can see my arm is going further and further because my body allows me to go there. Yeah? One more breath. Inhale and exhale. And slowly back to center. Before you relax, notice if you're still sitting up tall and long. Yeah. And then slowly release. Good. Counter twist to the other side just a bit. And back to center. Yeah? Wonderful. Seated twist. Good. All right. Let's lay on our back. Our last little hip opening before we relax. Slowly roll onto your back. Take a deep breath in. Open your arms to the side. Let your legs open wide too. Let your feet be open and wide. This is a receiving position where I'm allowing my full body to rest for one moment. We're coming into one more hip opener and then we will rest. The right leg starts. The left foot stays where it is and we lift up the right leg.
And I want you to hug with your hands around the foot. Yeah? See if you can do this with both hands for just a moment. Good. And then very slowly, I'm going to show you with this leg so I think you can see it better. I want you to take that right knee and slowly lower it down to the side of your chest and rib cage. This is kind of like a happy baby position. Notice if you can keep your ankle on top of your knee. And if you do this, you will get a really good grip on letting the bone, or the thigh bone of the lower leg, push into our knee and into our hip. So very light movement. Good. And then from here, take the left arm or elbow and slowly open the left knee out to the side. So slowly open it out to the side. Let me show you this way. So from happy baby here, we take the right arm. In your case, it's the right arm. Open out to the right side. Yes, there we go. And I want you to play at that edge a little bit. So we are bringing the right leg in to the outside of the chest, and then we are bringing it out, and we're rotating in our left hip socket. See where you can, then cross over and stretch lightly and move a little bit closer into your hip. Be creative and see if you can rotate more and more. See if that knee can slowly lower to the ground. See if we can do this without rolling over to the side, but staying on our back. See how far can I open up this knee? And what does the other foot do? Can I pull it closer to me? Yes. So just play around at that edge a little bit. Give possibility for movement in your hip joint. Good. And slowly lift up. And other side, yeah? Very, very good. For all of us who want a little bit more opening in our hip joint. Yeah, most of us are not used to, and we're not used to moving the hip joint in all directions. And so this, let's switch to the other side, is a really nice way of getting a little bit of movability in the hip joint. Good. So it was my microphone away. Here we go. And now slowly open the right leg. Oh, deep breath. Let there be a little bit of twist. Let there be a little bit of knee goes down to the ground. Oh. In and exhale. Use your arms to create movability in your joint. And notice where our edge is. Where does it tighten up? Where does it want not to move? That's where we're going. We're going to the places where the body says, I don't know, you haven't been there with me there. This is where we're going. Good. Cross over if you like. Open the knee. Maybe lift up a little bit or lower down. And you see it's slow movements. I'm moving the whole entire time. And I'm creating movability in different angles. That's exactly what I want. And slowly release and open up. Good. Let the soles of the feet come together one more time. This is supine Baddha Konasana on our back, bound angle pose. Breathe into your hips, and you might feel your left and right hip right now, how it releases onto the ground. The belly is soft. And then we lift up both legs, take our hands around the feet, Open the knees out to the side, just like we prepared with our single leg right now. And then we pull the feet closer to our chest, very slowly. Pull a little bit closer, in and out. Feel the stretch in the lower back. Feel how the knees open wide and come below the sides of your waist. See if your elbows can almost open up the knees a little bit more. We're going to breathe 5 more breaths. 1, exhale. 2, exhale. 3, exhale. 4, and 1 more very last time. 5. Open the legs out. Keep the soles of the feet together on the ground 1 more time. And just open up the arms. Completely relax the body into the mat below us. Feel your hips. Feel your spine. Notice the angle of your lower back. Notice the shoulder blade and upper back on the ground. Feel the back of your arms, the back of your skull. And take a moment to fully relax. We focus inward 1 more time, just like we started. Take note of what is in this moment in time. See if you can fully relax in this open position, in this totally open posture where the body is not guarding itself anymore, but where we trust that we can be in this position without having to guard us. Our heart, our hips, those are the places where we bear tension. And those are the places that are sometimes unhappy in our body. Lower back and hips, upper back and neck, shoulder girdle, rib cage area. That's where we feel it in the core of our being. Take a couple of deep breaths in and out. And then we slowly stretch out the arms behind our back. See if we can lengthen the body 1 more time. Open the feet and bring the knees into a parallel position. Bring one knee after the other to the chest. And then roll over to the right side. And lift ourselves up into our last seated position. Use your blanket behind your sitting bones if you like.
And we arrive in our last seat. Is this seat the same like it was when we started? Is it different? Can you sit calmly? A lot clearer now than maybe at the beginning. Can you feel your energy in your body? Can you feel that there's a balance of strength and release, which is the yin and yang that we always need to be able to go through our days. And that's what our yoga practice gives us. Let's bring our palms together to the center of our heart. I love this gesture. It's called Anjali Mudra. And for me, it is the reminder that all the answers that I am looking for are right here within me. It was my joy and pleasure to practice with you today. I wish you a lovely day, and I will see you soon in our next class. Namaste. And remember to take something with you. What was the one thing that you will from now on take into your practice as something that you continuously let grow, as a seed that will build your practice to a whole new level? Yeah. I will see you tomorrow.